So one of the first things people see when they see our bus, they see the paint job.
We raised the bus 18 inches to execute this design. As a mom with 2 kids and 2 dogs, it becomes something that you clean quite frequently. I'm Shaina.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Mike. Come check out our bus.
So welcome in the bus. First thing you see is that we have a full-size range stove. We're big on food, so we cook a lot of meals at home. We have a microwave. This is propane run, and we have an on-demand water heater that's run by the propane. If it's nighttime, because we're running off battery bank, the microwave and the range and the wash dry do take a fair amount of energy, but we haven't found it to be so much energy that it makes it not work for us. If we're running low on power, if it's been like an overcast day or we haven't had a lot of sun, we try not to use the microwave at night, but again, we can afford to do it. It's just something else is probably gonna give. So the wash dry combo is super efficient for a family of 4. We don't find that it is large enough to do the amount of laundry that we create in a small space. If you did a small load each morning, you'd be using 3 hours from start to finish, energy and water when you're off grid. We have 200 gallons of fresh water, so we can afford to use the wash dry probably 3 times in a 2-week period when we're off grid as a family of 4. So because we cook a lot of food, we have a lot of counter space for prep work. We know that when we did the research on converting school buses, that a lot of counter space was definitely important to us. We went with the butcher block countertops. We didn't do anything too dark so that it would close in the space and keep it very open, which is the same reason why everything is white. And it is a lot to clean. So I don't recommend white in a small space when you're traveling full time. I think it opens the space, but at the same time, as a mom with 2 kids and 2 dogs, it becomes something that you clean quite frequently. We do wish we had more storage just because we don't have a lot of food storage. We originally just started with this and it fit all of our kitchen gadgets. But again, to secure them too, having heavy plates and dishes up in the top makes for a rocky ride sometimes. So we bungee cord it down and fasten it so that it doesn't all fall out. This is our food storage. So there's hardly... I keep a lot of our dry goods in here. I keep a lot of like our back like syrups and stuff up top. On the road, ice is a huge luxury. And we have not 1, but 2 kinds. So we have big ones and small ones. We also have an on-demand Brita that autofills with our filtration system. That is the virus filtration system that I know a lot of off-grid families use. We got the 28-inch stainless steel sink. We made it square. We did it pretty deep just because, again, we do a lot of cooking. With this lifestyle, we don't do a lot of like going out to eat like we used to. So we cook a lot of food at home. With a lot of food comes a lot of dishes. So we like a big sink. And we had never really actually owned brand new appliances and stuff before. So we got it all to kind of like match. For us, it was a little bit of a splurge, but at the same time was definitely gets a lot of use.
All right, today we have these old tanks that we're gonna pull out of this bus, and we decided to go with a little stronger of a tank by RecPro. So here we go. Out with the old and wimpy. 1 down, 1 more to go. I'm really stoked about this RecPro tank. Also, sometimes you get water tanks that don't come with the fill valve itself and you actually have to make your own fill valve. This one has that, and it also has all the other holes for your pump and the ventilation. Oh yeah, that's a way better quality than that last one. We're gonna go put these in the bus and see how they fit. super snugly. They seem to be constructed pretty much immaculately. I love all the options that it has with the screw-in sensors and the different valves that you could use. All in all, I'm super happy with these RecPro tanks.
All right, so this is the living room, our most used space in the bus. One of the coolest features in the living room is the TV. So we can stow it away during travel days. It did take up a lot of space and we don't actually use it for storage. We doubled it up with the kitchen table. For us, the kitchen table is when we lift it up, it doesn't leave us a lot of space. All four of us have to fit on the couch in the front of the table. We don't really carry extra chairs for the ends of it. We probably could, and that would make it feel a little more spacious. But we don't really have like a place to sit that's comfortable for all four of us. That'd be like the one thing that we would probably change in the bus is the whole kitchen setup area. So the couch is for when we have company, but it can fold out or really nice movie nights. We can lift it up. It also pulls out into a queen size bed. We use duck cloth on the cushions because we have 2 dogs and 2 kids and they're super, rough, and we're all kind of rough and we come in from dirty places. So we got duck cloth. So we have a mini split in the front and the back. We did 2 because we're 40 feet. So we had heard a lot of reviews that if you can heat the front, you're not gonna be able to heat the back. So we did 1 on each side. They take the most energy. If you run them for a long time, they drain the battery bank, but they're definitely worth it, especially with dogs. Like if we go out for a trip or a day trip and we leave the dogs behind, if it's a national park, we leave the AC on for them so that they're not in the bus where they, obviously where it gets really hot when no one's attending it. So we leave 1 running in the front and it counteracts the heat for them, and so they enjoy it.
Well, this is a 2001 Bluebird All-American. It's a rear engine with an 8.3 liter Cummins turbo diesel. We chose this one after searching for a long time because it was a good price. It was in good shape and it had really, really good tires. So it had good bones to start with, no rust. And that's a huge thing with these buses. Being that the tires can be $800 a piece. They also did the process for us of registering as a motorhome, which saved us a ton of hassle. So we paid about $11,200 for the bus. In addition to that, we paid another $1,200 to the company that we bought it from, which was AZ Bus Sales up in Washington. Great people. And for that $1,200, they provided a service of removing all the seats. They put temporary services in, so like a little futon bed, a little plastic porta potty type of thing. And in Washington, being that we're from California, what that allowed them to do was register it as a motorhome. So purchasing it from them, instead of purchasing it as a bus, we purchased it as a motorhome. And so when we went to go register it back in California, it was as simple as doing a VIN verification and having that signed off, and boom.
Because it was already converted, recreational instead of commercial, which can be kind of difficult.
Which in California, for that $1,200, that was worth every single penny.
So we have kind of a small bathroom and shower because in order to fit the twin size beds that we have in the kids' rooms and give us enough space for a closet and the bed, we decided to make these spaces a little smaller. A big thing is our toilet is super close to our sink, but I'm 5'10" and my husband's 6 foot and we both fit in it just fine. The composting toilet's rad. It allows you to be off grid for as long as possible. You can come and go as you wish. You don't have a black tank that fills or has to backwash. The gray water is easy to dump because it's just pee and water. But at the same time, be prepared to clean up some sewage sometimes. So this is the shower. We have the Nebia shower head, which gives us like maximum amount of pressure with the least amount of water usage. I also tiled this. We also still did the tongue and groove sealing in here. We sealed it with a clear epoxy so that we wouldn't have water damage to the wood. We framed out the shower just like we framed out the windows and the other walkways. I actually shower every other day. At the same time, we keep it under 5 minutes. We know the amount of gallons that are used in 5 minutes. We know how long it can last. So we're just really cautious when we do use it, and we try and double up so that we can make the water last as long as possible. All right, so this is the kids' room. We raised the bus 18 inches to execute this design. It's our favorite feature, definitely by far, of the bus. The kids have the upper head bunk. Up top, we have the 12-volt system that gives them micro USB and regular USB chargers, plus 12-volt charging. Underneath, they have 30-inch TVs for gaming, for TV. They have their dressers underneath the TV. They have fold-up tables for travel days, for homework, for eating in their room if they want to eat in their room. They also have extra seat belts here for travel days. Underneath, they have some storage. Their cushions are the same cushions that we have on the couch, so we can actually interchange them if we want to. This is a king-size bed. We have 200 gallons of fresh water underneath. We have some storage that we don't really use because I don't like to lift the bed up. It becomes unfunctionable space, to be quite honest. We have a closet that we originally hung stuff in, but we found that shelves and folding clothes gave us way more space for clothes. My favorite part about the bedroom is actually the overhead storage that we added, because it gave me a whole shelf to be able to just put, I have a bunch of like giraffe stuffies and stuff that I just have a lot of my personal stuff, makes me feel like home. We do have an overhead hatch that we can access the solar panels. We put our Starlink up there. I mean, our room's the most simple. It doesn't really have much. It's got a closet, it's got some overhead storage, and quite honestly, it just has my like little trinkets. I've always dreamed about going tiny, and I feel like after 2020, a lot of people reevaluated how they were living, what was important in life, and for us, it was important that Mike was home more. And I mean, he worked really hard and had a career. He worked 7 days a week. And so for us, we did the road trip in 2020, and
we did 30 days. We loved it. And then after going back and working for a while and realizing that, you know, we're just beating ourselves into the ground every single day, and there was more. There was a lot more for us to do, and that we didn't need all the things. We didn't need all the bicycles. We didn't need all the space in our house.
Definitely didn't need to clean the 4 bedrooms anymore. I was happy to hang that hat up.
We didn't need the clothes. We didn't need the toys. We didn't need the stuff. And by getting into a space that's so small, I mean, you can't.
You don't accumulate it. Yeah.
You really can't. You can't have too much stuff. It becomes cluttered, and it's really nice to let go and go out and enjoy life. All right, so here at the dash in the main command console, we've got our custom dashboard. What we did was we ripped out the entire dashboard. We took a piece of aluminum, we CNC'd it out with a design that allowed us to put in a 24-inch TV. The 24-inch TV monitors our camera system. Being able to drive and see your left turn, right turn, and your rear view camera at the same time in big viewable form is probably one of the biggest safety features we have in terms of visibility. Originally, the door was right here, right? Standard school bus. We wanted to move the door. We moved it to mid-bus. That means that we didn't have to walk through the entire bus in order to get anywhere. So one of the first things people see when they see our bus is they see the paint job. The paint job was a pretty neat thing to do. We went full automotive paint. A lot of people say to go against that. We had never done an automotive paint job before. It was a massive, massive undertaking. I don't think that I would do it again, but we absolutely loved the way the paint came out. Another thing that we really love is our awning. Because we have the windows and the door here, we didn't want to go with the conventional awning with the arms. So we went with a lateral arm awning. That allowed us to put it up on top, out of the way. It comes straight out. It's 21 feet long, 10 feet out. Gives you a lot of outdoor space depending on the location of the sun. When we redid the wiring of the bus, a lot of the stuff, obviously, if you're doing a bus conversion, you know that a lot of things you don't need. We tore everything out that wasn't necessary. We left basically just the outside vehicle driving lights and tore everything out from here and started from scratch. Installed all of our different components, reused the existing bus bar, added our new bus bars for all the other 12-volt systems that we have on board, which is basically just gonna be lighting, electronics, chargers. Most of our stuff runs off of 120 or 240. Adding on to the light situation, when you got lights, why not add some more? We got the Nightlight lights off of Amazon. They're like maybe $100 a piece. We threw in 6 of those, 3 on each side. Those are all 18-inch, and then we got a 36-inch one in the back to act as our backup light. We turn those on at nighttime, and everything within about 150 feet turns to complete daylight. So up on top, we have 2,400 watts of solar. It's 12 panels, 200 watts a piece. Being that we use a lot of power, if we were to upgrade anything on our system, it would be adding about 3 more panels, bringing us up to 3,000 watts of solar, which would allow our mini splits to run, microwave, everything without running any kind of deficit. Back here, we've got the whole tow arrangement. We've got a rack right here that holds a DRZ 400. And we also tow our full-size pickup truck behind this. In order to do so, we had to build a custom bracket. So I call it the sniper hitch. It's got a small receiver on the top to allow this guy to slide into, a long receiver on the bottom. And that allows the Roadmaster Sterling to plug right into that. Truck hooks up, pulls, and we do just fine towing. It's really, 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 really nice to have a tow vehicle along for those adventure days. This life really opens you up to the possibilities. There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days.
You're gonna get flat tires, you're gonna wanna cry.
Bad things are gonna happen no matter where you are. But seeing what other people are doing, seeing what's possible, and having the choice about how you're going to go about your life is probably, to me, the biggest.
We'll never go back to a
lifestyle.
9 to 5 for sure. It's just y'all are missing out.
Thank you so much for coming and touring our bus. We enjoyed showing it. We really enjoyed building it.
He worked super hard on building it.
And
so
it's a pleasure.
enjoy.
It's a pleasure to share it with everybody. So we'll see you on the road.